and expensive Game Boy Advance games, and I'm going to start this one out a little bit different. I'm going to knock out 5 of my favorite games released on the console. Some of these are dirt cheap, some of these are ridiculous, but these are the 5 Game Boy Advance games that I absolutely love. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Mario, solely because I can play this on my Switch. However, I had enough fun playing this game on the back of the school bus going to middle school that I had to put it on here. Love Mario. Next up is a game that's probably not on anyone's top 5, but for nostalgia purposes, it's going to be Tekken. This is actually a really good fighting game on the console, and you should probably check it out. I do believe it's relatively cheap. Metroid Fusion, because it's Metroid. I had so much fun playing this in class while everyone else was doing their work. Final Fantasy Tactics is going to be the only Final Fantasy game with the exception of 10 that I actually really liked. I believe 7's extremely overrated. It's a good game, but it's overrated. Number 1 favorite game on the console is Sword of Mana. I absolutely love this franchise, and my kids even play it to this day. Now back to the regular video. First up, we got Mother 1 and 2, as well as Mother 3. Anything Earthbound Mother related is going to make a good chunk of change, so always be looking out for that stuff. Next up, we got F-Zero Climax. America got the first 2 in the trilogy. This was a Japan-only release. This is a franchise that I think Nintendo really should bring back. F-Zero Climax released in 2004, which technically makes it the very last F-Zero title to ever be released by Nintendo, like full on. Ever had the urge to help a mythical creature get some action on the weekend? Urban and Yeti is definitely a game for you. A little pricey, but for you. Double packs always seem to make it on these lists, and Castlevania Double Pack, that's a great, one price, 2 great games, why not? Dragon Ball Advance Adventure, I would love to see more games based around Dragon Ball versus just Z and Super. Bring back some Dragon Ball. It's literally the best part of the whole series. To stay on topic of dragons, we got Double Dragon Advance. This is essentially just a remake of the old arcade version, but released by Atlas, which anything Atlas makes, almost 90% of it turns to absolute gold, which you can see here. You might see a Disney game to featuring Mickey and Donald and think it's not really worth anything. Only like little 2-3-year-olds might like it, but you'd be wrong. You'd definitely be wrong. Magical Quest 3 never actually made it over here into the States on the Super Nintendo, so if you want to actually play it on your American hardware, you're going to have to pick this up. Next up, we've got Doom 2. Apparently, people say this plays a lot better on the Game Boy Advance than it does any other console. I'm cheap. You can pick the digital copy up usually for like $2.50 on Switch and PlayStation. Tiny Toon adventure games are usually really good. Buster's Bad Dream was actually only meant to be released PAL. But in 2005, copies of the exact same game artwork the whole 9, but was titled Scary Dreams, started releasing here in the US. Apparently they had every intention to release this in the US, and somewhere along the line they just forgot it existed or decided against it. Next up we have Ice 9, a very generic first-person shooter game. Reports say the game was originally supposed to be a tie-in to this movie, The Recruit, and that fell through. I can only imagine just completely crushed the budget. This was a late release on the Game Boy Advance. It released in 2005, so I'm assuming that's probably why the value is up so much. Next up we've got Car Battler Joe. Next up we got Demi Kids, or in Japan, Devil Children. I can never pronounce the series, but this right here is essentially Pokemon for grown adults. To catching Pokemon, you catch straight up demons and you tame and fuse them, and this is Atlas's version of releasing a kid-friendly version of that. I kind of want to play it. Next up, we've got the English release of Sega Rally Championship on the Game Boy Advance. Never had this in my possession, whether it be in my collection or to sell. I have, however, had the box before, though that's something, right? Ninja 5.0 had a rocky start upon release, but a couple decades later, you're going to pay a small freaking fortune for this thing. Let's finish this super long video, sorry for that, with Pocky and Rocky with Becky. This is an early release title for the Game Boy Advance, and it is basically just a remake of an old Super Nintendo game. This title wasn't mass produced, and there's a lot of hardcore fans of this series, which rightfully so, it's a pretty good series. If you'd like to stop a video, comment below, let me know, give me a follow. I do this every Saturday where I break down video games on certain consoles and just talk about some of the more rare and expensive titles.